Good morning, everyone. Last day here. Oh, it's been a wonderful week. I hope you've been enjoying traveling around the British Virgin Islands and the Virgin Islands with me. We're headed back. I'm going back to Southwest Florida where I live. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to... We have very bad Wi-Fi here. We are at Water Lemon Cay, you can see in the background. Absolutely gorgeous. Much more secluded than most of the islands. Not many people around here. So it's lovely, but I'll be quick. Many years ago, I had a vision about some sort of frequency being able to sing songs of wholeness to your body. So sort of like a med bed, but it wasn't electronic. It was more harmonious and like a natural toning, if you will. And that really led me on a path of discovery for the last 10 years. I can't believe it's going to be 10 years in April. To find ways to sing songs of wholeness to your cells. And what I came to discover is that we were looking at the matter of a thing, the anatomy, sort of like the pattern. And we were ignoring the background, which is everything. In this case, I'm talking about the cells of your body versus what's around the cells. And 99.9% molecularly is simply water. But it's not typical water. It's not H2O. This is H3O2. And it's sacred geometry. You can imagine the little, if you can think of chemistry, it's a star tetrahedron at that point. It's not just a triangle, so to speak. And when things hold hands like that, when the hydrogen and oxygen hold hands like that, it forms what is called the fourth phase of water. This is a not liquid, not solid phase. And it's sacred because when you work with the light of your body and the conscious awareness of your creative spark in conjunction with the water, you turn on a vortex. I'm trying to make this just very easy to understand. It's a torus. If you've ever seen the Vitruvian Man or any of the graphics people show of sacred geometry and how things work, your heart is actually being pumped by the water of your body. Your heart is not pumping blood. Your heart is being pumped. It's a vortex. There's lots of reasons for this, but it's a self-sustaining mechanism of flow. This is how prana animates you. And the more holistic you are, meaning there's not many distortions in your energy field, the more vibrant, healthy, energized you will be. And so a couple tips is, one, bless your water. Every day, when you take a glass of water, take a second. It only takes seconds to look at that water with a loving gaze, connect in with that water, thank the water, gratitude pouring from your heart for this gift of life. And think about when you drink that, how it's going to energize you, because it again goes into a fourth phase of water where it is sacred, it is blessed, it is divine, and that opens up the wormholes of connectivity. Now, all healing is connection, and all dis-ease is disconnection. Very simple. And you can think about emotional scales too. When you're connected, it feels what? Good. When you're disconnected, it feels bad. Fear. And so these aren't negative or positive emotions. It's just, are they aligned with the highest expression of expansion, which is unconditional love, or not? So when you simplify all of this, returning to wholeness, which is the root of the word healing, a return to the memory of wholeness, you start to involve water naturally, because water is memory. Water is the reason you look in the morning at yourself in the mirror and say, oh, that's me. Memory is not stored somewhere in your brain, in the folds of your brain. A long-term memory goes to some unknown area. Well, it's water. So when we say we want to return to the memory of wholeness, meaning connect, reconnect, we simply mean the distortions of separation, that false illusion of being X, Y, and Z, disconnected, alone, veiled, if you will, right? That goes away when you zoom out on the bigger picture of water in your body and you optimize the water of your body. And so that vision I had over 10 years ago, or around 10 years ago, the answer is water. The answer is your conscious awareness, the spark of your creative power, essence, in conjunction with water. Now, I love to put a little bit of Celtic salt in my water and stir that around just to get the minerals going, because you are a battery. It makes sense that you're going to be more energized when the water of your body is in divine formation, if you will, connected. I call it Wi-Fi to divine. This is what being psychic means as well, and expanding past your own field into other dimensional realities, right? Becoming conscious and ascending into new layers of dimensionality in this 3D. It's here already. We can do this. So tap in, use your water, program your water. And before I leave this beautiful water, I'll show you the water, but I just want to invite you to, there are only a few spots left. I'm capping it to 40. There may only be one. I don't remember, one or two. We're close. It's 39 on the screen, but one of them is me, so you can't count me. So we're getting down to the last few. And I am going to hop on a plane tomorrow, go back to Southwest Florida. I cannot wait for Tuesday at 10 a.m. That's the first class I'm teaching with, again, almost 40 people. There are a few spots left. I'll put the link in the description of this video. If you would like to get your water activation certification, I will teach you everything I know. And this is more than just the stuff that I learned in, that I published in my best-selling book that you can learn if you get that water bending book. This is stuff that I've never disclosed with anyone, because it was just stuff I would do with people in sessions, personal sessions. But because I'm getting more and more busy, and I'm coming up with, I'm launching my 6th book by the end of March. More on that soon. It's becoming harder and harder to take personal clients just because I don't have the time. So I limit it to 2 sessions per week. Well, if you do the math, that's not very many people per year that get to have a water activation session. And I'm like, why don't I just teach my tribe? And then you guys can go out and weave it into whatever it is you're doing with your clients. And I really want to illustrate the effectiveness of this is NLP. Have you ever heard of neuro-linguistic programming? If you have, raise your hand. Or energy psychology, if you will. If we have trauma imprints, emotional and mental, that are encoded in our body, this is a somatic, subconscious repetition of who we are as a person that involves dis-ease, right? I had a painful divorce. I lost a child. I was raped. Whatever it is, right? There's encoded traumatic memories inside of your body. Now, one option is to have a lobotomy. Ain't gonna happen, and you also don't want. Meaning is the point of life. If anyone ever asks you what's the meaning of life, it's meaning. It's to find meaning, and with that you need memory, which ironically is mem and ori, which is Hebrew for the words light and water. Isn't that wild? So when we get down to it, the memory of who you are is encoded into the water of your body. if you can assist that water in processing, accepting, I'm not talking about suppression here. We aren't denying, disowning, disallowing. We are simply working with the revolutionary concept that we can accept things as they are and move ahead and form better thought patterns that serve where we want to go versus keeping us trapped in the past where we were. So when I have water bending sessions, I'm not calling it water bending anymore because everyone was like the last avatar, and I'm like, well, you are moving the water molecularly, quantumly, zoomed in, microscopically, but people always think of it as some sort of woo-woo avatar thing when this is very, very scientific based. So now it's water activation, which I love. It's the same thing. So we're encoding information that softens and allows the past to be as it was without affecting our now, and for sure not our future. And all we ever have is the now. So how you view something now is how life will come to you as a result of those stories, that patterning, that resonance. People talk about the law of attraction all the time. Well, they're forgetting that attraction isn't the first step. Resonance, it precedes the law of attraction. So this is the vibration of your default setting, your subconscious, the water of your body. And so when you learn how to work with water in this way for clients, you will help them to not only truly accept and heal from anything that ever went on in the past, but most importantly, anchor in the now moment as your full power, as your choice point in any second. We have limitless timelines laid out before us like red carpets. We get to go and do and think and have and be and feel any way we want. You are the sole author of your life. You are the main character. So start living that way and taking ownership and responsibility for your entire vibration, not the way that others interact with you, right? Everyone's their own being. You're not going to suddenly be able to change people, but you can change the way you feel about those people. And in doing so, you change the way your field interacts with them, or sometimes those people will come in and out of your life depending on if they're going to meet you wherever. You only get what you are a match to, is what I'm saying. So, but this goes beyond just going rainbows and butterflies, because shit does happen. Dukkha happens to everyone. And again, the mastery is in your response to that. So a few more spots left. I'm going to give you all of the information on how to do a 3-cup approach, past, present, future infusion for this person to move forward in their life. Now, this is any niche. So you could be a relationship coach. You could be just a health one. A lot of people are in to help people with their health. Now, again, you can't make any medical claims and all of this. You're not replacing blah, blah, blah. We do all of that. But really, mind, body, soul, like this is emotional, mental, and physical restoration. As I said, return to the memory of wholeness. That's what healing is. And to do that, you have to get all of you on board with all of you, which is the 99% molecularly, which is the water. It's the key is the water. And so when you start working with that, you actually do come back into connectivity, and any distortion gets kind of not ironed out, but you can imagine you are now cohesive. You have there's no piece of you you're defragmenting is essentially what it is. And that leads to a more powerful mastery of your own thoughts and emotional responses. But most importantly, a desire and a drive to set big goals and to unapologetically go for them. So you could be also some sort of personal development specialist or coach, as I am. I'm very much into, there's 4 levels of consciousness. I don't spend time in the to me because I'm not going to be able to motivate you to tell you that you need to snap out of victimhood. That's your job. Everyone's got to you either got to have such a tower moment that you say, okay, I've got to do this, or, you muster up the strength in some way to say, okay, wait, my life is my life, and everything in it is as a result of me, right? You just got to take ownership and then say, oh, okay, but I do have a lot more power. So the second conscious layer is the by me, where you roll up your sleeves and you're like, okay, I'm going to get to work. I'm going to fix my life. I'm going to sort my shit out. I'm going to do this. But that can really be hard because we've got all these other patterns going on running counter. So you could be 90% on board, but that's 90% not on board, if that makes sense, because only 10% of your bandwidth is conscious. The rest is subconscious. So again, if you don't address the wholeness of you, you're not moving ahead holistically. There's pieces of you that are still stuck in those patterns of trauma, blame, disharmony, disconnection, distortions. And fear is a big one. So, any type of coach you are, this wraps in and elevates it in ways that are really different than any other modality in existence. Think energy psychology meets NLP, which is neuro-linguistic programming, very popular with energy psychologists, including, self-hypnosis and all of that. But really what it is it's a return to the memory of wholeness through working with the water of your body and telling yourself stories that serve you in a way that your subconscious can believe, not as would be nice, but as it is so. And anything you desire, you can't get there from here. You have to be it to see it. So that's closing that quantum gap. I teach you as a practitioner to help people close that quantum gap and in one moment, the now moment, be whole, healed, healthy. And your water singing songs of wholeness. This is why I call it singing songs of wholeness. You're already that way. So it's like stripping down and out the distortions versus adding something that suddenly makes you whole. You are already that you are if it weren't for all of these distortions, right? So defragging. And really, it's so much simpler than it is to explain. It's not hard. You don't need to know like all of these ins and outs of why this is working so well. I just show you how to do it, and you can just get on with doing it. And the adventure that unfurls is just so exquisite. Every single time you just sit there and you go, God is so intelligent. I mean, it's incredible. Out of thousands of possible codes that you may need, it's not 50% of the time that it works. It's 100%. And you'll see, I've never pulled a code for someone that I went, I wonder why you asked for that one. It has always 100% of the time been so spot on that we like to say, you can't make this SHIT up. You just can't. And it's mind blowing. And so for that reason, it's so fun to go on this adventure with your client, to ask them, candidly, to describe the things that they're struggling with physically, mentally, emotionally, and then to take them into that space, getting those stories cleansed and restored and that fresh, clean state of non-trigger and non-trauma and just complete wholeness, acceptance, and the purpose, passion, and revelation of where you want to go, which gets them into the third layer of consciousness, which is through me. So you have to me, the world is happening to me. You have by me, I can do this, but it is not in the flow yet because it's a struggle, right? It's hard. Then you turn your boat around and you go with the flow. And suddenly you're like, oh my God, everything's downstream. Wild. And you start working with the laws of the universe and seeing your life snap into place, back into place. And that's the through me flow state. knows my life. I love how people go, oh, you were just in some sort of bubble of bliss. And I'm like, yeah, that's a good way to describe it. Now, look, it doesn't mean stuff doesn't happen. It just means I'm so equipped with the little tweaks to the dial that I can make in my perception, where I can always look at something and go, oh, how is this going to level me up? What nuggets of gold can I take from this circumstance that's going to allow me to grow in the direction that I want to go? And part of that is just being willing to be uncomfortable outside your comfort zone. That's where everything is that you want. Anything that you dream of that you don't have, could be anything. I'm not talking just money or whatever superficial things you want. The things you truly desire, the feelings you want. The only reason why you don't have them yet is because it's not you. And it is a catch-22. It is a catch-22. It's your identity that you have to work on, including that realm of potential as a memory already fulfilled. And when you get to that point, people, places, things come through so fast that it looks like you're blessed, and really you're just ready. The vibration that you're emitting is a natural match to the future you that is the best version of yourself. And then the cool thing is you get to as me. That's the mecca of realization that, oh shit, I don't actually have to go anywhere. I'm already connected to everything. Big revelation. So to me, by me, through me, as me. This is where you finally come into that fullness, that full awareness, that we are all one, and that everything is already here, already so, and that anything you desire, as soon as you can embody that essence, you can't bullshit yourself. That's the thing. You can't be like, I'm going to fake it till I make it. Well, you're going to call yourself out vibrationally. You really, truly have to be at one, attuned to that version of you. But this takes overriding limitations and redoing. Oh, there's a beautiful butterfly that just flew by. So that's it, guys. I'm going to teach you how to return to wholeness. And, there's 7 ways that we restore when you get into it. You reflect, you release, you rewire, you replenish, you resonate, you reunite, and of course you have to rejoice. You have to give thanks. This morning when I was laying in bed, I was just on this looping of thank you, God, thank you, Jesus, thank you, God, thank you, Jesus. And it was just like, I'm just laying there, just filling my being with gratitude for this life. And, we only have the now, but most people aren't in it. They're in the past, regretting and re-traumatizing themselves, or they're in the future, anxiety about whatever they think fill in the blank is going to happen that isn't the best case scenario, right? Gotta live anchored back into the now moment, baby. That's all we have. And in the now, everything is really, really good. It's okay. Even when it's not okay, you're alive. There's things you can be grateful for. And if you can take the edge off and look at that experience as, what am I, everything you've ever gone through that's difficult, you look back at it now and you see why. You connect the dots. You can connect them in the now moment too. And also just surrender. Just say, that's my favorite hack there is, okay, God, your turn. I don't know. You tell me. And in that letting go, you naturally pivot into a path of least resistance, which is unconditional love and connectivity. And things reach out to you. Pain is literally just wishing that something was other than it is. That's all. Everything that's that doesn't feel good is because, not to be rude, because you aren't accepting. You want something to be different, and there's a gap. And that gap, that disconnection is what is distorting your connection to the answer, right? So you just zoom out. You get bigger than that. You come from the as-me space where the universe is always working for your good and it's sorting the details so exquisitely that you would never be able to plan that ahead of time. And it's going to look as if it's a miracle, but it's just the laws of the universe working for you when you get out of your own way, when you return to wholeness. So that's it, guys. Headed back tomorrow. I mean, look at this place. It's such a blessing to, and by the way, I've magnetized my dream man doing water activation. So again, there's only a couple spots left if you want to join us. This is Water Lemon K near St. John. And the water is absolutely epic. Can you see it over here? Anyways, love you guys so much. I hope this message has helped in some way to clarify the way we work as humans and the fact that the water in our body is the key. Working with that subconscious layering into wholeness once again. All right, guys, I'll put the link to the certification if you want to jump in. I will not be teaching this certification live for probably another year because I do have 11 other modules that I've got all sorted out. So like and follow me because there are some really, really intriguing places I'm taking you all on this coming year. But the first 40 of you guys are going to get certified starting next week. You don't have to be there live. You can be there in replay if you need to be. And I just can't wait. Let me know. Reach out personally if you have questions. I've made it affordable for anyone. You'll be able to get your tuition back in just 3 sessions, basically. So if you do 3 sessions, it'll have already paid for itself. And of course, I do have payment plans available if you need that as well, but it's ridiculously affordable for a certification, like 90% less than most certifications. So jump on in. The water is fine. And it's certainly the most rewarding thing, to be helping people return to the memory of wholeness. All right, guys. Love you so much. Bye for now.